wengine ambao wanaendelea kuhifadhiwa mpaka sasa, tunawahifadhi, watazidi watu kuwa na moyo wa kuhifadhi kuliko sisi tunahifadhi, lakini hakuna boundary hata ya katika sisi Kenya na Somalia. So mpaka kuwe na mikakati ya hali ya juu za samaki kule kwetu.
Kwa hivyo hiyo imekuwa changamoto.
So sisi kwetu kusema la kweli, kuna NGOs nyingi, kuna
la kusema kwamba kuhifadhi papa kwa sababu uvuvi kupita kiasi unasemekana kwamba unahatarisha maisha ya papa, na kwa hivyo ukisema basi kuna changamoto za hao wanyama nyinyi ndio mnaohifadhi, lakini ni watu wa Somalia ndio ambao wanavua samaki. Basi hamjafikiria kuhusu jinsi ya unasemekana kwamba unahatarisha maisha ya papa, na kwa hivyo ukisema basi kuna changamoto za hao wanyama nyinyi ndio mnaohifadhi, lakini ni watu wa Somalia ndio ambao wanavua samaki. Basi hamjafikiria kuhusu jinsi ya
huku huo sababishi ule mzozo ulikuwako ni pale kwa ile triangle. Ni mambo ingine tofauti kabisa,
husiana mambo ya uvuvi.
Si uvuvi, si sana kuwa na matatizo ya uvuvi hapo.
Okay. Yeah. Sasa mheshimiwa, tunakaribia kumaliza. Maybe kama una jambo la mwisho ambalo ungeweza kuambia watu wa Lamu Mashariki wanaokutazama na kusikiliza kwa sasa.
Tunasema tunangojea rais asign, nangojea bunge mwanzo lipeleke huu mswada. Sasa bunge litafikiria kama wako katika mipango yao yenyewe ya ndani, either waipeleke kwa rais au wapeleke Senate. So sijaambiwa inaenda vipi. Mimi naona ni policy, haifai kwenda Senate, lakini mawakili wanajadiliana ndo wajue huko inaenda vipi, kama itaenda kwa rais kuisign au itaenda Senate. watu wangu wa Mashariki wana hamu sana huu mswada upite, usainiwe. Itakuwa ni jambo kubwa sana. Nashukuru, mimi nataka pia nishukuru bunge na leadership ya bunge. Nasikia mimi ndio nitakuwa wa kwanza, hata ni aibu, wa kwanza Lamu County kuweka mswada bungeni. Na nasikia pia nitakuwa wa kwanza katika wanawake Coast kuweka mswada. Mimi nataka ni confirm hiyo, siamini. Lakini pia ni process ndefu, kwa sababu huu tulianza kwa mwanzo nilivyokuwa 12 parliament. Ikafika stage ambayo inaweza kuiregesha, tukaregesha. Ilipita bunge la 12 parliament bila kumaliza. Kwa hivyo kuna process huwa wa kuwe na subra na tuendelee kuhifadhi, tushirikiane na serikali, tuhifadhi wanyama wetu, maana si ndio kitega uchumi wetu. Kama kuna watu wanahifadhi Lamu huwezi shika turtle, yule kasa. Ukishika, wananchi wenyewe ndio wanaenda kumwambia polisi, ndio unakuja kushikwa. Wenyewe wanahifadhi kwa sababu ni vitu wanategemea. So tuendelee kuhifadhi, ni mazingira yetu, ni sehemu zetu tunazipenda, ndo na watu sahihi. Alhamdulillah, nashukuru wa Kenya na bunge kwa jumla wametuelewa mazingira yetu. Sisi ukitoka kwa island tu unakanyaga maji. Hata mtoto anaweza kwenda kwa kucheza tu, akaenda kucheza kwa bahari, kwa sababu ndio mazingira yetu, lakini wengine hawaelewi hivyo. Sasa tumeanza watu kutuelewa pale tunaishi.
Shukrani sana mheshimiwa, na pongezi kwa juhudi ambazo unaweka katika kuleta miswada. Umesema wewe ni mwanamke wa kwanza kutoka Lamu na kuwasilisha mswada. Pongezi kabisa. Na hapo tunahitimisha mjadala wetu. Tumekuwa na mheshimiwa Ruweida Obo, mbunge wa Lamu Mashariki, na tumekuwa tukijadili mswada ambao aliwasilisha bungeni na ukapitishwa wiki iliyopita. Ni mswada ambao unapendekeza kujumuisha wanyama 4 wa majini ambao ni pamoja na papa, nyangumi, samaki jiwe na mnyama mwingine hapo ambaye anajulikana kama taa, kwenye orodha ambayo inavutia fidia iwapo watadhuru binadamu. Basi tutaendelea kukuletea matangazo ya moja kwa moja kutoka Bunge la Taifa kupitia KBC Radio Taifa na vilevile kupitia runinga ya KBC Channel 1. Jina langu ni Tilio Ismail Marco. Shukran sana kwa kutazama na pia shukran kwa kusikiliza. Hadi wakati mwingine wiki ijayo, tutaendelea na mjadala kama huu ambao tumekuwa nao wakati huu. Kwa sasa kuwa na wakati mzuri. Tunaendelea sasa na matangazo yetu ya moja kwa moja kutoka Bunge la Taifa.
Asante.
Na msikilizaji, hapo tumekuwa na mheshimiwa Ruweida Obo tukichanganua mswada ambao uliwasilishwa bungeni na kupitishwa wiki iliyopita. Ni mswada ambao unahusu uhifadhi na usimamizi wa wanyamapori. Ni mswada
but the House is facing a quorum hitch. The quorum has not been raised yet for the House to be able to commence its business. And that is as provided for in the House Standing Order number 34, paragraph 1, that if the quorum is not achieved after the praise said and the chair taken, that then that quorum bell will be on. This is just to give room for the members who may be within the precincts of Parliament and are yet to get to the chambers, at least to hasten their steps and join their colleagues to enable the House raise that much needed quorum for the business to be able to commence. And as we wait for that quorum to be raised, we shall go back to take a look at the business that is lined up for consideration as the House convenes this afternoon. Consideration of the 4th generation revenue sharing formula for counties, the equitable share that was passed by the mediated committee, that is members of the Senate as well as members of the National Assembly, is 415 billion. And there are counties that will be receiving what is referred to as an affirmative share. These are 12 counties. And because the House has already passed the 415 billion shillings, the monies that will be allocated or shared among these 12 counties is 4.46 billion shillings. These are counties that for the past financial years have been getting below 6 billion, and at least for this particular allocation, the affirmative share is to at least enable them improve on that particular allocation. And the parameters that will be used include population index, equal share index, poverty index, geographical size index. And you will remember that this proposed 4th basis for revenue sharing presents a significant shift in approach from the 3rd basis, which had more expansive and sector-specific parameters. This raises the concern on the balance between simplicity, precision, and inclusivity in the allocation model. So in these particular parameters, the population index is based on the 2019 Kenya population and housing census that is capped at 0.45%. The poverty index is based on the 2022 Kenya poverty report by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, and the geographical size is capped at 10%. So that is one of the business that as the members of the National Assembly this afternoon convene for the proceedings, this is part of the business that they will be considering. Remember, these are monies that will be going to the devolved units for the 2025-2026 financial year. More members making their way into the chambers. However, that white paper raised by the Sergeant at Arms, a signal that the quorum has been raised. Allow me to hand you over to the business for you to follow. Good afternoon.
Order number 3, communication from the chair. Order number 4, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader. Majority Leader. What do you want?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, June 24th, 2025. 1, submission of nominees for the National Government Constituency Development Fund committees for the following 10 constituencies: Balambala, Bomet Central, Isiolo North, Kisumu East, Laisamis, Makueni, Mathare, Sabatia, Saku, and Bomachoge, Chache. 2 is a report of the Auditor General and financial statements for Kitutu Masaba Technical and Vocational College for the year ended 30th June 2022 and the certificates therein. 3 is reports of the Auditor General and the financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2023 and the certificates therein in respect of Siaya Institute of Technology and West Mugirango Technical and Vocational College. 4 is reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2024 and the certificates therein in respect of Bomet Central Technical and Vocational College, Kajiado West Technical and Vocational College, Kajiado West Technical, that's a repetition, sorry, Kimasian Technical and Vocational College, Kinango Technical and Vocational College, Kipsinende Technical Training Institute, Kituma Secondary School, Kwale High School, Matuga Girls High School, Mazeras Girls Memorial Secondary School, Mazeras High School, Mwatata Technical and Vocational College, Wa Girls Secondary School, and West Mugirango Technical and Vocational College. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chairperson, Budget and Appropriations Committee. Where is Atandi?
Oh, you have it. Honorable Speaker, allow me on behalf of the Chair of the Budget and Appropriations Committee to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 24th June 2025. The report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on its consideration of the third supplementary estimates for the financial year 2024-2025 and the compendium of departmental committee reports on their consideration of the supplementary estimates. Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Vice Chairperson, Constitution Implementation Oversight Committee. Who is the Vice Chair?
Yeah.
Kate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 24th June 2025. Second report of the Constitution Implementation Oversight Committee on the status of implementation of the Constitution by, number 1, the Office of the Controller of Budget, 2, the Commission on Revenue Allocation, and 3, the Office of the Auditor General.
Thank you. Chairperson, Public Debt and Privatization Committee. Public debt. Yes, Murembo.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 24th June 2025, report of the Public Debt and Privatization Committee on its consideration of the Consolidated Fund Services for the Supplementary Estimate 3 for financial year 2024-2025. Thank you.
Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning. Kimani, discontinue your conversation and do your work.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, the 24th of June, 2025. Reports on the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning on its consideration of the following. 1 is a virtual asset service providers bill, National Assembly Bill number 15 of 2025. And 2, the ratification of the agreement establishing the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, EBRD. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Chairperson, Budget and Appropriations Committee. The Majority Leader laid the paper on your behalf.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would like to move that this House adopts the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee.
No, I beg to give notice of the following motion. And you give
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on its consideration of the third supplementary estimates for the financial year 2024-2025, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 24th January 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 223 of the Constitution, Section 39 of the Public Finance Management Act, Cap 412A and Standing Order 243. 1. Approves an increase of the current expenditure for 2024-2025 by Kenya shillings 39,114,991,340 in respect to the votes contained in the first schedule. 2. Approves the decrease of the total capital expenditure for financial year 2024-2025 by Kenya shillings 3,378,082,314 in respect of the votes contained in first schedule. 3. Approves an overall increase in the budget, the total budget for financial year 2024-2025 by Kenya shillings 35,739,909,026 in respect to the votes contained in the first schedule. 4. Approves the expenditures under Article 223 of the Constitution as contained in the fourth schedule. And 5. Resolves that the first schedule forms the basis for the introduction of supplementary appropriation number 2, Bill 2025. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Chairperson, Constitutional Implementation Oversight Committee.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts the report of the Constitutional Implementation Oversight Committee laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 24th June 2025, on the status of implementation of the Constitution by, number 1, the Office of the Control of Budget, number 2, the Commission on Revenue Allocation, and 3, the Office of the Auditor General. Mr. Speaker, while on this, allow me, Mr. Speaker, to say something a little bit different. As I let Mr. Speaker,
what is it?
Mr. Speaker,
yes.
Mr. Speaker, I noticed in the media, mainstream media today, the newspaper, print media, that my name has been splashed in headline news as a warmonger. While, Mr. Speaker, I will not be intimidated by the media, allow me to say, Mr. Speaker, that the events of...
Order, Kamket, I'll give you an opportunity at statement time, which is the next order. Just take your seat. Next, Chairperson, Public Debt and Privatization Committee.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts the report of the Public Debt and Privatization Committee on its consideration of the Consolidated Fund Services for the Supplementary Estimates 3 for financial year 2024-2025, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 24th June 2025.
Thank you. Next, Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning. Molo. Give you a notice of motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts a report of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning on its consideration on the ratification of the agreement establishing the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, laid on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 24th of June 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 84 of the Treaty Making and Ratification Act, Cap 4D, that this House approves the ratification of the agreement establishing the European Bank for Reconciliation and Development. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Kamket, I give you 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I was saying, Mr. Speaker, that, Mr. Speaker, the Honorable William Kamket, member for Tiati, is a prince of peace.
Do you know what a prince of peace
yes,
means?
Yes, you are looking at one, Mr. Speaker.
Eh?
I am a prince of peace, indeed.
You are not.
The Kamket they are referring to, Mr. Speaker, is a different Kamket, is a Kamket of the media.
Order, Kamket. Call yourself a peace-loving member. You are not a prince of peace.
I'm a peace-loving Kenyan.
Yes.
And indeed a prince of peace.
Order, strike out the words prince of peace from the Hansard.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You are not.
I am a peace-loving Kenyan.
That's okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, while I shall not be intimidated, Mr. Speaker, it is on record, and it shall remain on record, Mr. Speaker, that the events of 25th of June last year were nothing other than an attempted civilian coup that was led by none other than the former deputy president, whom we impeached in this House, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, the activities that they are now planning to commemorate the attempted overthrow of a constitutionally elected government shall not be tolerated by all peace-loving Kenyans, Mr. Speaker.
Order,
and therefore, Mr. Speaker,
yes,
Mr. Speaker.
What was in the papers?
Mr. Speaker, there is an attempt. There is an attempt by the print media.
Just listen to your speaker. Because I read all the papers studiously. By 4 a.m., I've read all of them. And what they said of you is that you are a warmonger and you are spewing out hate material against people in the country. So limit yourself to that.
Yes.
Yes.
And Mr. Speaker, indeed, Mr. Speaker, there inciting our youth by bringing issues, Mr. Speaker, by trying to paint leaders who paint that what they are doing or what they are planning is wrong, and trying to paint them in bad light. It's an attempt to intimidate leaders, Mr. Speaker. And I'm standing in this House to say, Mr. Speaker, that what happened last year was indeed an attempted civilian coup, and it shall be said so, Mr. Speaker. I will continue saying so. And those who are planning to bring our children to the streets tomorrow are the people we are addressing, Mr. And we are telling them that, Mr. Speaker, that anybody who comes with the intention of disturbing the peace shall be made
Mashua Waithaka, give Mashua Waithaka. Lenga kule alipo.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations regarding the disappearance of Mr. Ruben Varwa, a Kenyan in the United States of America. Honorable Speaker, on 13 May 2025, Mr. Ruben Varwa of ID number 550886 and his wife, who reside in Lumberi in Kiambu constituency, traveled to the state of Alabama in the US to visit their son. Upon arrival on the 14th May 2025, Mr. Varwa fell ill and his son took him to receive medical attention in a nearby hospital. However, the following day, on the 14th May 2025, Mr. Varwa reported left the house for a walk and has not been seen or heard from since. The matter was reported to Calera Police Station in Alabama. It's now been 4 weeks since his disappearance, yet no substantial update has been communicated to the family regarding the process of investigations. This has left the family in a state of uncertainty and distress. The situation has also raised concern about the safety and well-being of Kenyans abroad, as well as the effectiveness of our diplomatic interventions in such instances. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations on the following. 1, a report on the status of investigations into the disappearance of Mr. Ruben Varwa in the US. 2, measures being undertaken by the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs to assist in locating and the whereabouts of Mr. Varwa, including coordination with the US authorities and provision of regular updates to his family. And 3, long-term strategies taken by the government to enhance the safety and welfare of Kenyans traveling abroad. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair, Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign. Major Bashir, you are the Vice Chair, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, when can you bring a response? I know we are recessing on Thursday, but because of the importance of the matter, try and furnish the honorable member with some written response in 2 weeks. Then we can mention the matter when we resume.
Thank you, Chair. Well guided, and I think we shall do that. Within 2 weeks, we'll be able to give him a response and formally bring it to the House after recess. Thank you.
Thank you. Ekwam Nabwin. Yes, Honorable Nabwin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Orders number 44.2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations regarding the status of investigations into Todonyang massacre. Honorable Speaker, on 22nd February 2025, armed assailants believed to be members of the Dasnash militia from the neighboring country of Ethiopia carried out a brutal cross-border attack on the villages of Lotira and Lopeimukat in Todonyang location, Turkana County. The attackers targeted innocent civilians, mainly fishermen and small-scale traders, leading to the loss of more than 40 Kenyans and destruction of critical fishing equipment. In addition, the attackers left many families grieving the loss of their loved ones and without their primary means of livelihood. Despite this tragic event, similar deadly attacks have continued to occur within Kenyan territory. raising serious concerns about the security of the people at the border and underscoring the need for swift action to be taken. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations on the following. 1, a report on the status of investigations into the Todonyang massacre that occurred on 22nd February 2025, including the steps taken to collaborate with the Ethiopian authorities to apprehend the culprits. 2, the measures put in place to address security breaches at Kenyan border along Lake Turkana, and confirmation whether the security forces have been deployed to ensure protection of these Kenyans at the border. 3, the steps taken by the Ministry of Defense through the KDF to protect the fishermen along Lake Turkana during their fishing expeditions. And 4, the measures put in place to ensure that the families of victims are compensated and an indication of when they will receive their compensation. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Bashir?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I have heard the request for statement, and that was a very unfortunate incident on the 22nd February 2025. Honorable Speaker, I think I will also equally say the same response as earlier given, that we'll be able to give the Honorable Member a written submission in 2 weeks' time, and after recess, we'll bring a statement to the floor of the House after recess.
Thank you. Responses. Bashir again to a request by Honorable Jane Kagiri, member for Laikipia. Is Jane Kagiri in the House? The questioner is not in the House. To be fair to her, we can stay the question, rather the statement response. If she comes before end of statement time, we can deal with it. Transport and infrastructure. Response to a request by Joseph Gitari. Is Joseph Gitari in the House? Yes, he is. GK, go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the member for Kirinyaga Central, the Honorable Joseph Gitari, MP, requested for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the status of construction and rehabilitation of roads in Kirinyaga Central constituency. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Gashoki sought to, among other things, establish the status of the following road projects in Kirinyaga. Is Kiamudhambi Gatuto Road, Kagumo Kangaita Road, Kirogoya Prisons to Kemande Road, Kirogoya Gaos, Kandakame Road, Kevingo Keratina Road, Mungedha Gitumbe Mugwande Road, and Mutira Kagumo Kiamaina Kaduduma Kianjage Road. B, report on the status of rehabilitation works for the following roads: Gakoigo, Kiandieri, Kangaita Road. The ministry to ensure the completion of these projects, including specific completion dates. Honorable Speaker, the committee received a response from the Ministry of Roads and Transport on 14th May 2025, which I now wish to make. Kiamudhambe, Kirogoya Gaos, Mugedha roads. The ministry submitted that these roads are in the project contract number RWC 286 under Jiang's Water Hydropower Construction Company Limited as the contractor. The roads are currently incomplete because the contractor suspended work since October 2022 due to delayed payments amounting to Kenya shillings 383 million. The original completion date was 4th October 2020. The revised project completion date was 1st May 2022. The current project physical progress is at 85.5% against 160.90% time elapsed. The ministries further submitted that Kiamudhambe Gatuto Road, covering 2.68 kilometers, has stalled after completion of the base layer construction. The Kerugoya Girls Kandakame Road, covering 1.96 kilometers, has been halted after the first seal surface layer was laid, with a 100-meter section remaining unconstructed due to unresolved well issues. The Mungedha Gitumbe Mugwande Road, covering 3.818 kilometers, has similarly stalled following the completion of its base layer construction. All these three projects currently remain incomplete, with work suspended at these various stages of development. Honorable Speaker, regarding Kagumo Kangaita Road, the ministry submitted that this road link is in the project contract number RWC 621 under China Wuyi Company as the contractor. A section of 4.2 kilometers along Kagumo Kangaita is complete, with the remaining 2.75 incomplete. The contractor has not been on site since December 2024 due to delayed payment of an amount of Kenya shillings 141.5 million. The original completion date was 26 July 2024. The current project physical progress is at that 1.85 against 120.99% time elapsed. Regarding Mutira, Kagumo, Kiamaina, Gadudhuma, Kianjagi Road, the ministry submitted that these roads are in the project contract number RWC 549 under China Wuyi Company Limited as the contractor. A section of 6.5 kilometers along Mutira Kagumo is complete, and the remaining 10.75 incomplete. There are no ongoing works because the contractor has suspended works since November. The contractor suspended works since November 2024 due to delayed payments amounting to Kenya shillings 290.5 million. The original completion date was 2nd July 2022. The revised project completion date was 12th February 2024. And the current project physical progress is at 69.84 against 120.46% time elapsed. Honorable Speaker, regarding Kerugoya prisons, Kimande Road and Kibingo Karatina Road, the ministry stated that the two roads are under the county government jurisdiction. Regarding status of rehabilitation works for Koigo, Kiandieri, Kangaita Road, that is 13.08 kilometers, the ministry submitted that the road project forms part of RWC 286 under Jiangxi Water Hydro Construction Company Limited. The roads shall be rehabilitated by the contractor upon the scheduled resumption of works once resumption of works. On Meringairi, Kiawakara Road, the ministry submitted that this road was constructed under Road 2000 program, which was completed in January 2021. The rehabilitation of this road has been factored in the RMLF 10% funding for financial year 24-25. The original completion date for the project was 21st January 2021, and the project was 100% complete. Regarding interventions by the ministry to ensure the completion of these projects, including specific completion dates, the ministry submitted that through the Kenya Rural Roads Authority, the ministry shall communicate the specific completion dates for the stalled projects upon resolution of the funding challenges that has caused the slowing down of or complete withdrawal of contractors from site. Towards this end, the ministry has made requests for enhanced annual budgetary allocations to enable the offsetting of the enormous pending bills or to contractors for road works certified countrywide, including those in Kirinyaga County. In addition, the ministry has initiated several interventions towards settling pending bills, including actively exploring alternative financing initiatives and seeking support from development partners. Honorable Speaker, I submit.
Gitare, you satisfied? We move on.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm not fully satisfied, but I sympathize with my friend, my neighbor, Honorable GK, because he was not the author of this reply. Mr. Speaker, my statement was a bit specific. And one of the things I was asking in number C was the actual completion date, not the completion dates that were there before 2024, 2022. Mr. Speaker, I'm coming from a premise that Mutira Kagumo Kiamaina Gazodoma Road, even the president came and launched it. And to my thinking was that maybe there was money for that, and people of Kirinyaga are still waiting for that. Mr. Speaker, on this other road, Kerogoya Girls, Kandakame Road, Mr. Speaker, it has been there for a very long time. So I was imagining that the chairman would have consulted the ministry properly because he comes from the same zone and to get appropriate answer, Mr. Speaker.
Have you brought an inappropriate answer?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I actually know these roads, not just by name, but I know where they are located. These are roads that I have used in Kirinyaga County.
Your statement factual?
So my statement is factual in as far as the funding challenge is concerned. I think that's the main point here, Honorable Speaker. It's not about the timelines, but availability of resources to complete these projects. I didn't want to see these projects completed myself because I am Honorable Getare's countermate, and we'll do our best to support him and to support the people of Kirinyaga and by extension, the people of Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to the next. Transport and infrastructure. Is Lelmengit in the house? Joseph Lelmengit is not in the house. Is Jen Kagiri in the house now? Yes, Wangari.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Before you exit that order, just to remind you, Mr. Speaker, last Thursday I requested for that statement on gambling from the Chair Finance. You instructed that I write to your office, which I did. maybe you can give the direction so that we know the way forward before the recess. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I directed the clerk to cause the chairman to bring a response. Chairman, tomorrow or Thursday, are you able?
So, Honorable Speaker, I thank you for your indulgence, and I want to issue an apology to the Honorable Martha Wangari for the delay in this. Honorable Speaker, as you are aware, there were several other businesses that were
business. Thank you. So statement requests and responses for Jane Kagiri, member for Laikipia, and Joses Lelmengit will be stayed, and Bashir and GK be ready for Thursday. Next order.
Order number 8, procedural motion, extension of sittings and resolution to hold a Thursday morning sitting.
Majority Leader, but before you order members on their feet, take your seats. Richard, take your seat. Honorable members, allow me to recognize a visiting delegation from the bicameral legislature of Nigeria. I wish to introduce to you a visiting delegation of members drawn from the Committee on Constitutional Review of the House of Representatives of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who are seated in the Speaker's row. They comprise of the following: the Right Honorable Professor Julius Ihonvere. Can I mention your name? You stand. House Majority Leader and Deputy Chairman of the Select Committee and Head of Delegation. Honorable Fatima Talba, Member. Honorable Rotimi Oluwaseni, Member. Honorable Omobi Oga, Member. Honorable Kabiru Amadu Mai Palace, Member. Honorable Ajia Abdurrahman, Member. And 7, Wali Baba Shehu, Clerk of the House of Representatives. And Professor Kathleen Okafor, Committee Consultant. The delegation is accompanied by senior House and Senate staff, as well as an external partners from the Policy and Legal Advocacy Center of Nigeria. Honorable members, the Select Committee is currently considering several amendments to bills, one of which is seeking to create additional women-only seats in the national and subnational legislatures of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They are here to benchmark on the best practices and legislative interventions that enhance women's political representation and to engage in peer learning on measures adopted in Kenya towards actualization of that goal. Honorable members, on my behalf and on that of the entire National Assembly, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation and wish them fruitful deliberations and engagements during their stay. Majority Leader, the leader of delegation being your counterpart, I give you a minute to lend. Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the House, allow me to take this opportunity also to welcome that delegation from the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As you've heard, Honorable Speaker, members were, as they acclaimed and welcomed them, they were all saying Igwe.
Yes.
As you call out their names and led by their leader of majority, let me say Karibu to Kenya. and may you take your time to learn as much as you can. Indeed, Honorable Speaker, we are a country where many African countries can learn from ourselves and the Republic of Rwanda on women representation in the House. And I think Kenya being a universal suffrage system of election of women leaders is a better place to learn from rather than where it is party-based, Honorable Speaker, and therefore this delegation is in the right place. And I do hope that the chair of the caucus of the 47 women reps can get time to also engage with this delegation and be able to guide them on what amendments they could enact in their legislation. With that, Honorable Speaker, allow me to...
Before you do so, I've been requested by Wangari to lend support to your voice of welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of yourself and the panel today, led by the Deputy Speaker, we were able to host this delegation for an intense, almost an hour and a half discussion. And there's a lot of exchange that we have learned from each other, from the two countries. But more importantly, on what they're working on, Mr. Speaker, we are a country, as the majority leader has said, that they can be able to copy a lot from, because in the Nigerian Senate, out of 109 members, only 4 are women. In the House of Representatives, out of 360, only 16 are women. So in total, they only have 4% representation of women. And I think this was the right place to come for this benchmarking. We have shared a lot in terms of the legislations that we have put in place. We have also shared a lot, Mr. Speaker, on the constitutional journey that this country has traveled to be able to get to where we are, Mr. Speaker. So I know they'll still be here for a few more days. They should be having a meeting on Thursday with the Kenya women parliamentarians, so that we also exchange notes on how we can help them to frame the legal framework for their country. And we are happy to always welcome them back to this country, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. I appreciate.
Thank you, Majority Leader. You can now proceed with your motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, maybe before I move, it's also important to note, as Honorable Mother Wangari says, we also came from where Nigeria is today.
Yes.
There was a time there were very few women, elected women members of parliament in this country.
Tell them when I first came to this parliament in 1992, there were 3 elected women.
Yes, including the Honorable Wanjiru.
Including
the one from
the prophetess.
Yes. So Honorable Speaker, I was saying is indeed a long walk for us to get to where we are.
Yes.
And I do hope that the Republic of Nigeria, being an African powerhouse like Kenya in the western part of Africa, just like Kenya is a powerhouse in Eastern Africa, they will lead from the front. And Africa is better with more women representing their people, both in the legislature and in the executive. And we look forward, Honorable Speaker, to a time when Nigeria and Kenya will have women presidents leading our 2 great countries. And I do hope, Honorable Speaker, that we'll be able to see this in our lifetime. And I know in the House, after the 10 years of President William Ruto. Honorable Speaker, allow me to move a procedural motion on order number 8, that pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 33A and B, on hours of meeting, this House resolved on 2025 afternoon sitting and Thursday, 26 June 2025 afternoon sitting to midnight for purposes of consideration of priority business ahead of the short recess, and 2, to hold a morning sitting on Thursday, 26 June 2025, commencing at 9:30 a.m. Honorable Speaker, this motion is pursuant to what we agreed in the House Business Committee this lunch hour, that to allow us to conclude with all the important business that we have before we proceed on our short recess on Thursday evening, that we slot in a Thursday morning sitting and extend the sittings tomorrow up to midnight, and also Thursday to extend the sitting up to midnight, so that we may conclude all the important business that we have, including the supplementary appropriations bill, which whose debate the chair has just given notice, the virtual assets bill that again the chair has just tabled, the chair finance has just tabled its report, and all the other priority business that we have on the order paper for today, tomorrow, and the day after, Honorable Speaker. And with that, Honorable Speaker, I beg to move and request the second.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. As the majority leader has rightly put it, Honorable Speaker, looking at the calendar of this House, Honorable Speaker, this House will be proceeding for recess from Thursday. And it's quite in order for us to dispense of every business that we have before us, very serious business that we have before us, as we indeed discussed in the House Business Committee, before we proceed. So with that, Honorable Speaker, I beg to second.
Thank you. Members on their feet, take your seats. Take your seats. Major Deco, take the nearest seat. Honorable members, I'll now propose the question at order number 8, which is that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Orders 33A and B, hours of meeting, this House resolves to 1, extend sittings of Wednesday, 25th June 2025, afternoon sitting, and Thursday, 26th June 2025, afternoon sitting to midnight for purposes of consideration of priority business ahead of the short recess. And number 2, hold a morning sitting on Thursday, 26th June 2025, commencing at 9:30 a.m. Do I put the question, members? I now put the question. Orders 33A and B, hours of meeting. This House resolves to 1, extend sittings of Wednesday, 25th and 25, afternoon sitting, and Thursday, 26th June 2025, afternoon sitting to midnight for purposes of consideration of priority business ahead of the short recess. And 2, hold a morning sitting on Thursday, 26th June 2025, commencing at 9:30 a.m. As members of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, procedural motion, reduction of the publication period of a specified bill.
Honorable Atandi, Chair, Budget and Appropriations Committee.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would like to move that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 120, this House resolves to reduce the publication period of the supplementary appropriations number 2, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025 from 7 days to 1 day. Honorable Speaker, we have roughly 4 days to the end of this financial year. And because the House is going to short recess in the course of this week, and also that this supplementary appropriations bill 3 to normalize the expenditures which have already been incurred under Article 223. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I would like to beg the House that we shorten the publication period for 1 day so that we're able to process this bill before the close of this session. Honorable Speaker, I move. Thank you. I would like to ask the Majority Leader second.
Who? Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second, and as the chair has said, in view of the fact that we have only less than 4 days to the end of the financial year, and we need to conclude the supplementary appropriations bill for this financial year and have it ascended to before the end of the year, it's important that we reduce that publication period to 1 day. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I second.
Order. Members on their feet, take your seats. CNN, take your seats. Honorable members, and the provisions of Standing Order 120, this House resolves to reduce the publication period of the Supplementary Appropriation number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025 from 7 days to 1 day. Put the question. Honorable members, I'll now put the question and order number 9, which is that pursuant the provisions of Standing Order 120, this House resolves to reduce the publication period of the Supplemental Appropriation Number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill, number 26 of 2025, from 7 days to 1 day. As members of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Order number 10, the Supplementary Appropriation Number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2025, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to authorize the issue of certain sums of money out of the consolidated fund and the application toward the service of the year ending on the 30th June 2025, and to appropriate those sums for certain public services and purposes. Order number 11, motion, consideration of the fourth generation revenue sharing formula for counties.
Honorable Atandi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would like to move that in its report of the consideration of the fourth basis for revenue sharing for county governments.
Honorable members, hold on, Honorable Atandi. The honorable members, like Honorable Julius, take your seat. Like I advise the House, whoever has any contrary view to the content of this motion and you want to overturn it, you must garner 233 members. So when it comes to vote.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would like to move that taking into consideration of the finding on the consideration of the fourth basis for revenue sharing for county governments laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 19th June 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 217, 1 and 4 of the Constitution on allocation of the share of national revenue among counties, this House concurs with the Senate and approves the fourth basis for annual allocation of their share of national revenue to the county level of government for the financial years 2025, 2026, 2029 to 2030 without amendments as follows. Number 1, for county equitable share below 415 billion, county allocation is equal to baseline allocation ratio of 387 billion 425 plus Kenya shillings 3 billion shared equally among identified 12 counties plus 0.45 of population index plus 0.35 of equity plus 0.12 of poverty index plus 0.08 of geographical size index and equitable share index of 390.425 billion. Number 2, for county equitable share of 415 billion and below, county allocation is equivalent to baseline allocation ratio of 387.425 billion plus 4.46 billion shared equally among the identified 12 counties plus 0.5 of population index plus 0.35 of equal share index plus 0.12 poverty index plus 0.08 geographical size index plus equitable share of 391.89 billion. Where number 1, baseline allocation ratio is equal to allocation factor derived from each county's allocation for the financial year 2024-2025. Number 2, the 12 identified counties are Elgeyo Marakwet, Embu, Isiolo, Kirinyaga, Laikipia, Lamu, Nyamira, Nyandarua, Samburu, Taita, Taveta, Tharaka Nithi, and Vihiga. Number 3, population index is based on the 2019 Kenya population and housing census. Number 4, the poverty index is based on the 2022 Kenya Poverty Report by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. And number 5, geographical size is capped at 10%. Honorable Speaker, I would like to say that what we are discussing before the House is the 4th basis of revenue sharing. Since the promulgation of the new Constitution, we've had three revenue basis sharing formulas. So this is going to be the 4th one, and every 5 years, a new formula is developed, where the national share of revenue allocated to counties is shared among counties. Honorable Speaker, there are many parameters that have been used in the past when considering the allocations to counties, sharing of these resources among counties. One of the prominent formula that has been used in the past is the population formula parameter. Honorable Speaker, population has been used to decide how much money goes to each county. There are some counties that are highly populated, others that are not highly populated. The ones that are highly populated have been able to receive more allocation than the ones that have lower population. Honorable Speaker, this consideration has been a very good parameter. It is a parameter that is used in most jurisdictions, India and many other countries that are undertaking devolution, so that if the population is high, you are likely to get more resources. The reason being that if the population is very high, it means that you need more resources to be able to manage, provide services to the population. Honorable Speaker, the only challenge we have with this parameter is that, like in Kenya, for example, population census is not done very regularly. It is done after a very long time. So estimating the reality of population in a particular area is becoming a very big challenge. And we want to urge that in future we have a regular population census being conducted so that we are sure that the population we are considering resources for in counties is matched. Honorable Speaker, the other parameter which has been considered here is the land area. Honorable Speaker, land area is a very important parameter because for areas that are counties that are very large, have large land size, accessing services becomes a problem for populations. So they need to be given more resources so that they're able to provide services to populations wherever they are found. So this has been also a very important formula which has been considered when deciding the resources to counties. The other formula, the parameter which has been used, Honorable Speaker, is poverty index. Honorable Speaker, this parameter has been challenged because it is a basis for sharing resources. There are some counties that have refused to, develop or even improve their poverty levels because they are sure that because that parameter is going to be used to give them more resources, they have been able to just remain poor. So we want to say, Honorable Speaker, that even though this parameter has been used here again, we want to urge that going forward, it needs to be a lesser parameter so that we can be able to urge counties to be able to improve their poverty levels. Because if poverty level is a parameter, most counties have refused to even work hard. Honorable Speaker, there are some counties that have remained poor over the years since devolution, despite pumping so many resources into those counties, because the generation that they know that as long as we are poor, we are going to get more resources. Honorable Speaker, the other parameter is, which has also been considered, is health status of counties. Going to counties is supposed to help in improving lives, improve services and facilities. There are some counties that have refused to graduate, in the provision of health services, even though health is devolved. They do not